You may have heard about this. It's a big deal. The 2020 census is underway, a time when the effort is to count how many of us live in the United States of America. Yes, there is a pandemic going on, but that is not stopping the efforts by the government. The census takers are taking safety precautions as well in order to get the most accurate information and count possible. Joining me now, Dennis Johnson, the Deputy Director of the Denver region of the U.S. Census Bureau. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Johnson. Talk about why it's so important for people to make the effort to be counted and how the Census Bureau is working to make that happen.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. And I can tell you this, that the census is one of the most fundamental activities that we do as a nation. And the 2020 census, pandemic and all, is no exception to that. It's so important that we get a complete and accurate count of every resident of our country. That information is going to be used over the next 10 years, not just this year, but for the next 10 years. So we have to think for the future. We have to think of the children that will be growing up during that time. That's why it's so important. And we all need to be represented, first of all, in our government, and the census helps us to do that. And secondly, we all need the resources for our roads, for our public safety, for our schools, for our hospitals. And the census helps to determine how much funding goes into each of those activities. Without that information, the resources aren't going to be spent in the right ways.
I noticed that the response has been less than the last census. I know in the Houston area, I've seen numbers that show that the response has been less than the last census, which wasn't great even then. I mean, we'd be surprised at how many people don't respond. How much more challenging is it this year, and what efforts are being made to change that?
Well, certainly it's been challenging. Just we want to keep everyone safe. That's top priority. But in the meantime, the way we conduct the census has changed. For the first time ever, people are able to go online and fill out the census, and that avoids any contact with a census taker or anyone else. So it's completely 100% safe to respond to the census in that regard. But for those folks who haven't been able to get online or make a phone call or send in a paper form, local census takers, people in your neighborhood, will be coming around to assist those households and make sure that they have the opportunity to respond. Mm-hmm. And we're taking every precaution. They will be wearing masks. They will keep themselves socially distanced from the residents. And if the resident needs a mask, we'll give them a mask. So we're taking every precaution. Even our training systems have changed so that we didn't gather large groups of people together at one time. We've done a lot to make sure that we do this activity completely safe, and yet we know how important it is, and we know that we have to get it done, not just for today, but for our future.
What's the deadline for all of this, both for online and for people who actually might come to the house and get information?
September 30th is our deadline. We want to make sure that we have everybody counted by then, and we're working very hard to do that. We've got folks that are working in every neighborhood. They're confident that it will happen, and we continue to provide them whatever support they need, and we're making great progress. In fact, over 80% of Texans have been counted either themselves online or by telephone or by a census taker. So we're down to the last 20%. We're confident that that'll be done by September 30th.
Well, that's encouraging news. That's good to know. Thank you so much. I want to make sure we get people, if they haven't already done this, that they can go online and do it. I did it as soon as it was available to happen. It's very easy to do. So thank you for all your efforts, and good luck as we go ahead and go down to this deadline of September 30th. Let's make it. Let's make it work.
We will. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.